Oh, hi there. Hi there. And welcome back. Yeah. In today's video, we're gonna do the electronics on the guitar, so that we're finally done with this. This horrible nightmare can end. Let's get started, okay? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Okay, so here we have the guitar, and this is obviously the back of it, and we have a couple of things that we have to sort out before we get started, just to make it easier for ourselves. Here we have the ground wire from the bridge, and here we have one of the ground wires from the LED, and here we have a ground wire from the other LED. So what I want to do is I want to sort of cut them down to size, and I want to solder them together in a blob and just make them into one thing, so that I can keep track of all the ground wires. We have a ground wire from the pickup here as well. We have a little LM386 right here. You'll get close up, so I'm going to zoom in. I've already added a pot to it, just like I did on all my pedals. And I have a couple of wires here. I have the two of the output wires, for example, right here, soldered to the back instead of in here, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. But first, let's get this into place. We also need to resolder this because it's not supposed to sit like this. It's just right now because I wanted to test this board to make sure it works, because you always have to test these boards before you use them to make sure they work, because sometimes they just don't. It kind of sucks, to be honest, but that's just the way it is sometimes. Okay, so if I pull these wires up here, the ground wires, let's see here, one of these green wires is a ground because it has a black line on it. If I pull them up like this, I can sort of tell these two need to be cut down to there. So like that, oops. And then I can strip these back a little bit. I'll take these three ground wires and I'll just twist them together. Okay, and then I have to strip these wires back as well for the pickup, because it's a bit too much having these things be so covered up. I have to be very careful here and just score through the blue plastic and see if I can get to the other two wires, which maybe I can't. And something like that, and then we take all of the wires coming. There are the surrounded silver bare wires. Try to put them to one side and twist them together. A little bit of solder on those and then put them in their place. This is the ground from the pickup, and then this white one needs to get stripped back a bit as well, just a smidge like so, and then twist that one around as well. This ground here we're gonna leave alone for now, we'll attach it later. But here we have the VC for the battery, VCC, and the in and the ground. And so, a little bit of solder, I can put this pickup wire here on the in. So first, on the in, the white wire, and then on the ground wire. And now, unscrew this and put it in through the hole of the guitar into where it's going to be, which is right here. Something like that. And I'll add the washer and nut on the other side. So here we have the two LEDs, and gonna strip this one back as well, but I'm actually gonna do something a little bit different than what I did on the other one because I'm going to regret this blob. I'm gonna strip this back, but do it pretty long, like so. So that when this one meets up, I can solder them together with each other and have a bit extra to be the one point that I'm going to solder. And I might actually redo this one here, but I will do that off camera. And now I'm just going to add this resistor here to the LEDs, and that's just because I don't want them to accidentally burn up. I can take them out, obviously, but I don't want it. It's always good to have a backup for that. Add a little bit of a shrink tube over all of it, so that the seam and the joint and all of it is connected and protected and all of that. Accidentally burn myself, which I am very good at doing. These are going over here to the VCC. I'm gonna see if I can get them in there and maybe even attach them a little bit. Next up is this ground here, which, I mean, I could have twisted together this actually now that I think about it, so I don't know why I did it the way I did it, but a little bit of solder, I hope I can just melt them together. So I just need grounds for everything. So here we have all the wires now, and we need to take these 3 wires here and feed them through this hole here into the next cavity. So I'm just going to see if I can do that without them breaking off. Let's hope that I can. Let's see, here there are 2. Here is the 3rd wire, which is the ground from the battery. And I'm going to try to explain this and what we're doing, so that if you've never done anything like this before, hopefully you can. Okay, so what we're going to do is install a stereo jack, and as you can probably tell, one of the black wires have a bit of tape on it, and that's the one that is going to the plug for the 9-volt battery. It's important to keep track of that. Here is a stereo jack, and the difference between this and a mono jack is that it has a 3rd leg that goes to a 2nd tip sleeve thing. If we look at a mono jack cable, it looks like this, and this is the tip and this is the ground, and this little ring here in between the black thing is separating it. Now, I don't have a wire right here right now that I can show you, but if this was a stereo cable, it would have another black wire, so that when we press this in, one would connect to the tip and one would connect what would be the right channel, and then the ring in the middle here, this whole thing. Do I have something to poke with? This here is the ring. But when we plug in a mono cable, this is basically a 2nd ground, which means if we connect one to this ground and then one to this ground, we get the ground connections, which will make this start up. It's super easy actually. So we're going to take this ground wire here that is from the output, and we're going to connect this to the middle ring here, just like we would do on a regular mono jack. And we're going to connect this blue wire to the tip here, which is this leg, and then this one is going to get that 3rd, the yellow taped black wire. And that will basically be all we need to make this into a jack that, when this is plugged in, will create a ground to the battery, starting the effect up. And you could do this to anything. And then the last wire, just a little extra solder, and we get that tip connection, the middle tip. I hope you can see what I'm doing, because it's incredibly fiddly. I'm actually amazed with myself for managing to do it. There we have it. Let's pull this out. So there we have it now. I plugged in a battery into it, and now we just take this cable and plug it in. And as we plug it in, that little LED there should light up. The other LEDs should also light up, but we'll have to turn the camera around for that to see if that worked. But at least we have power. So let's plug this out. See if we can turn the guitar over, and hopefully the other LEDs are lighting up as well. Don't even know if I can show you. yeah, there they are. I don't know if you can see it. There they are. They are lighting up. Same thing with that. So, that's cool. So, I just want to show you real quickly, just because this is like the highlight of the whole thing. You know, I've been working on this for so long now that, you know, it works. So if I have the guitar right here, and I take a cable and I plug it in, and the battery is in, and you can leave the battery there, you know, forever. I mean, technically not forever, because batteries do drain themselves and they will corrode and things like that. So, you know, don't do that. But if I plug it in, you'll see that the lights go on, and the skull head lights up, and the little pumpkin guy as well. And now, for some reason, oh, there's a little something is a little glitchy in there. I'm gonna have to take a look at the wires. But yeah, you can see it, right? And that's a regular guitar stereo. I have over here that I actually found a stereo cable, so you can see it has the extra little ring. So yeah, and if I plug that in, the right will be connected to nothing, which means that the ground from the battery is connected to nothing, so it shouldn't do anything. You saw it lit up there for a second, as it's in a sort of in-between position where it can get a little bit of ground, so you can see the eyes are lighting up just a tiny bit. But as I press it in all the way, there's nothing. And yeah, there you go. There it is. Now let's continue, because we have a silly little thing that my master wants. I personally think it's unnecessary and something that he doesn't need and he shouldn't do. But, you know, he does want this guitar, you know, to be able to take over the world and, you know, destroy everything and leave everything in darkness. And, you know, if that's, you know, what you want to do, you have to add, you know, the next thing. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll be right back, okay? See you in a bit.
Please, you must stop him before it is too late.
Alright, so I have this little tiny piece here. I hope you can see it. If you can't, you'll get close-ups real soon. This is called perf board. This is lined perf board, so there's like lines of basically copper. I mean, it is copper, but it's like copper tape. And there's holes through it for parts, and we're just gonna build a very simple, small little circuit so that we can have a little bit of fun. If you've seen some of my other videos where I build pedals, you've seen that I sometimes add a capacitor or maybe a diode or two to the output where you can screw something in. That's an easy, simple way to just modify the circuit a little bit. And I have this one thing that I want to experiment with and try out for this guitar. So, yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing we need to do is take this little board here. I hope you can see it. And we need to poke through from the back to the side where the copper is, because that's where we solder 2 wires. Now I'm going to do a red wire and a red wire. As you probably can see, there is a red wire lying next. And the reason why is because I don't want to confuse myself. One is going to go to ground and the other is going to go to the out. So just a little bit of solder. Give it a sec, lift it up, tug at it lightly to see that it's stuck there. And then here is the next one. And we're putting them on the 2 out, leaving the one in the middle alone. So there we go. So now we have to think in reverse, because the parts go in through here and then they come out here. Start by adding this cap from the red side to the middle. Like so. Let's see if I can make you see. Be careful so you don't bridge any connections. You can check with a multimeter to make sure you don't have any strange things going on. The next thing we do is we add a LED from the positive or red leg as well to the middle. So the ground leg to the middle. All right, So now we need 2 diodes, and I'm gonna go with these, which you guys probably already know what it is. Here we go. Let's see if you can tell what this is. Cool, right? And we need 2 of them. The first one, we're gonna bend the legs a little bit, and we're gonna put it in with the little black line that is on here, going from the red to the black. So all the way across. Now, the signal will go to ground, but it will come back from ground. So we take the next one and we put that next to it, but instead of putting it from ground back to lead, we put it in the middle leg, so just to go back from the middle. So now the black striped side needs to go to, you can see it looks like it's going to the outer, but it's going to the middle. This is what it's supposed to look like. So now we're basically done with this little circuit. Here I'm gonna add one more thing, because Master gave me these, and there's something special. So yes, I need to just, he said I wasn't allowed to play the guitar after this, so this has got to be something really special. But after adding these, I'm not really allowed to do much. This tape is really on there. Come on. Okay. Here we go. There's 1. There's 2. And go. And there's 3. And I'm just gonna pop them in like this. First one. It's in there a little bit to get in the holes. First one like that. So. And then the third one. Come on, get in there. Like so. Okay. Now, on the back of the LM, I'll show you now because it's easier than inside of the guitar for you to see. You have this green connector here, and on the underside here we have soldered wires to the output jack. You saw that just a minute ago. And up here we have one labeled ground and one labeled out. And you can screw, as you can see on this one, wires in. You can just put them in and tighten down the screw. And we're gonna do this with this one. We're just gonna take the black wire, put it into the ground, take the red wire, put it into the out, and just add this. But before we do that, I just need to solder these in place because they are a little bit fiddly. So, give me a sec to just add a little bit of solder and solder them in place. All right, so now we have to add this backlit that I made out of the back of a little practice amp that I turned into a pedal. You might recognize it. It's a little bit dirty right now, but I clean it afterwards. So let's take the backlit off and let's try to feed this connector through here. Right, it has to go like that then. Oh god, have I not thought about this? Or can I move the circuit around a little bit? Okay, I could move the circuit around. Let's see, can I get it in place? There we go. It's where it's supposed to go now, so that's good. And then we can add a battery in a sec. First I need to put in 4 little screws to hold this down, which you might think is not an issue, but it is, because I need to find them. Where did I put them? Oh god, he's gonna beat me again. Anyway, I'll be right back. There we go. Good. Now, let's get a battery and put it in, and it will all be good. So, Master, So Master just gave me this battery. He said it was a special battery. Zombie juice. I don't actually know. I don't actually know anything about that. But he said that I had to put this into the guitar. So, yes, let's do that. Okay, so there you have the clip, and we just put it in. Like any battery. Move it into the cavity. And just, it's a little bit fiddly. I probably should have had a longer contact. But there we go. Got it in. Nice and fits snugly. And then we take this back lid and we just drop it. Sorry, no, but then we just press it into place like that, and it's closed. And if we need to, we can open here and take out the battery, change it out for another, which I'm told I'm not allowed to do. There we go. Now the guitar is all done. Alright, I almost forgot to tell you that I need, of course, a control knob. So there we have it. I think the guitar looks really cool. So yes, I hope Master will be pleased and happy for his new guitar. And yes, I know that I'm not actually allowed to play the guitar, but he's not here. So I'm gonna do it anyway. Don't tell him. But I just feel like we've spent so much time building this that we have to listen to it a little bit. I mean, just playing it for a couple of minutes won't matter that much. I mean, you can't be that mad. So yes, I have a cable here. I have a tiny little practice amp right here. So let's just plug it in. And yes, so here we have the guitar, and when I plug it in, it will light up. That's why I turned off the lights, so you could see the guitar. Doesn't that look cool? Isn't that cool? I think that's cool, especially if you're into this sort of thing. I mean, look at those eyes. Whoa. And then look at this little guy in there. He's happy to see you. Okay, let's plug this in and play a couple of power chords and just see what it sounds like. So